Welcome back to another episode of Silk Sessions After Hours Unfiltered. I'm your girl, Mimi Michelle, your hairstylist, your author, and your podcaster. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, I want you to get involved. I want you to ask all the questions. I want you to leave your comments, and I want you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, because we have such a good time over here. Now, before I get this thing started, as y'all can see, I have Old Faithful back on because my hair needs to be done, and I didn't feel like doing it today. And as you can see, the lighting is a little different. I got some new lighting, and I am so excited. It looks really good to me. Y'all tell me what y'all think, or if y'all can see any difference. But before I introduce today's cocktail for conversation, I want to wish my really good bestie, Tracy Lane, a happy 55th birthday. You are my girl, you are my sister, and you are my friend. And I have a birthday song that I want to dedicate to you, because I could really rip it up and sing a little happy birthday ditty, but I think this describes how I feel just a little bit better. Take a listen.
You're my best friend, and I love you for life. Sing this to your best friend. You're my best friend. We do everything together. I love you, girl, bitch.
So, today's cocktail for conversation is Penelope Peach Old Fashioned, in honor of my bestie, my best friend, one of my best friends anyway, because I believe once you get to a certain age, you don't have to have just one. Tracy, cheers to you. I hope you enjoy your day, and we're going to have a real good time later on. So this is a Peach Old Fashioned by Penelope. It's Penelope Cocktails, Peach Old Fashioned, straight bourbon whiskey, straight rye whiskey. Why am I getting tongue-tied? Peach bitters and maple syrup. And it is 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. It ain't playing no games. It's got to be strong, because it done broke my little cube right on down. Ooh. Oh, nice. Nice. Now, let me tell you what I would have done. I probably would have put a little peach slice on here and took the peach juice from the rim. So every time I put my lips, I would taste those peaches. But it has a really subtle peach taste. Yeah, but that thing burning going down is good. All right. It's a sipper. And it's really delish. All right, so I was compelled to say something, but I think the Holy Spirit is telling me to zip it, because if he's telling me to zip it, I should leave it be, right? So we're going to mosey on to the next. We're going to mosey on to the next. I'll just say this. I'll post how I feel, okay? And then I'll post how I'm feeling, and we're going to leave it at that. All right, so let's go with the first part. Yeah, take a listen. Yep, every time I think I'm changing how I'm feeling, then I run across something that puts me back in my old frame of mind. And if I happen to give you scissors, just remember you did it. Take it.
Oh my God. How come you don't like people?
Because people ain't shit.
Coming from a Leo, if a Leo cut you off, I promise you that ain't the first offense. I promise you that is not the first offense. They've been letting you slide. They're going to have the hard conversations. But if a Leo cut you off, motherfucker, it's because you constantly did some shit. And
yep, exactly what she said. On to the next. All right. Now, in today's news, we had two idiots, I don't know their name, who climbed to the top of the Empire State Building yesterday to send some type of message. And while they were up there, I guess I should go back and read what they said. Something about if you love each other, you won't be overwhelmed with the love of the world or something like that. And then he got down on one knee and proposed. Now, you done did all that and y'all up there. First of all, I probably would have tumbled over because being that high, I am afraid of heights. Okay, yeah. When I'm on the elevator, and a lot of people don't know this about me, even though I will ride a roller coaster, which I'm kind of opting out of that because roller coasters have been doing their la-di-da thing lately. But, and when I say la-di-da thing, I mean they're getting stuck in the air and things of that nature. And you see what they did with the girl who was bungee jumping. They forgot to hook the bungee cord and threw it off. I wanted to zip line. I think I'm changing my mind about that. But anywho, they were very high up in the air. And when they dumbasses come down, don't they know they going to jail? So y'all that's probably why he proposed up there, because he knew he probably wasn't going to have to go through with it, because they're going to the good old jail. In jail. In jail without the bail. In jail. In jail because they failed. I mean to tell you, that was so dumb. But I guess to each his own. I mean, you made your point. I wonder, first of all, how did they get away with that? And how did they go up without being so nauseous? They didn't have no cords, no safety cords or anything. Nobody, nope. Nope. Now, remember I told y'all I finally got a chance to wash my car a couple of weeks ago after the rain for like 2 weeks, and I need my car washed. But how come when I go to the car wash, I don't see this? I need some help. Lord, if you're up above, and I know you love me, and I know you hear me, can you send me one of them? But I need him to love you. I need him not to be so holy that he's no earthly good. I need him to want to go to worship with me. I need him to have a good job, good credit, and a whole lot of goodness going on down there and stamina. I need him to be disease-free. I need him to be loving, caring, and kind, and don't have a thoughty spirit like that hoe over there, like always with the wandering eye, okay? I need him to not have any hang-ups, no drugs, no alcohol. Now, you can drink a little taste, like casually, but I don't want no vices, okay? But I want him to be fun. Am I asking for too much? And I want him to look like that. I have a type, and boy, was he fine. Did y'all see him? I need my car washed. Don't y'all need y'all car washed? Car wash, whoa. He could wash my car, girl. Whoo, he was fine. All right. What we got next? I really don't have no voice because it's like 2:00 in the morning, but I wanted to make sure I tape this because can we have an honesty time? So I've been trying to tape this episode since 9:30. And my sister said I should say something. I said I didn't want to, but my mother had a stroke. And she had a blood vessel burst in her. Well, you don't need all the details. But my sister's overwhelmed. I don't know how to feel. I don't want my mother suffering and struggling now. She is moving around. She is talking. There are some things that she's having to deal with. So when I was at my sister's house, because I'll put a clip, I was at my sister's house trying to tape the episode and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was just too much. Because I really worry about my baby. Before I go on to the next thing, it just really made me understand why I wrote A Moment in the Hourglass. I know that in life, we are on borrowed time. And I'm not just talking about my mommy's life. I'm talking about everybody, the world, because life is like a blink. And your loved ones can be here today and gone tomorrow. And it don't necessarily have to be them. Shoot, it could be me. Who's to say? But y'all make sure y'all do me good now. I need to, and I really want to tape this because, but I'm scared. I don't want to write my own destiny. But I'm like, when I go to be with the Lord, the screen's going to come on and it's going to be like, well, if you see me up here, you already know what time it is. I'm gone on to be with the Lord. Now look, on the count of 3, I want y'all to all fall out. Jesus, take me now. And then I want y'all to have a real Holy Ghost good time because I loved him and we going to party in the name of the Lord. And then after that, I don't want no repass. I just want a whole bunch of praise and worship. I want it to be bumping because my choir can sing. And I'm not having no obituary. I'm having QR codes. When you come in, click, clock. It's up to you to save it. I'm not spending money on that. I'm donating my body to science, just like my mom. Because, I could be a blessing to somebody. Won't he do it? And I want an after party. I don't want no repass. Meaning I'm going to have 2 cocktails. I'm going to have a cocktail that is liquor, and then I'm going to have a non-alcoholic cocktail. They're going to have 2 of them. They call them signature drinks. 1 alcohol, 1 non-alcohol. The alcohol cocktail is going to be called the Coleman. The non-alcoholic cocktail is going to be called the Cooper. And we'll figure out the flavors along the way. But yes, we going to celebrate because I know where I'm going. I'm going up yonder. Anywho. So that's why I'm saying today it's been a struggle, but I've been consistent this week and I want to make sure I got y'all episode done. So now, let's go on to the next. Let's talk about sex. One of my favorite subjects. Are you ready? Talk about something that I ain't getting. And I got me a little tan, but my makeup is too light. But it's been settled in since I put it on earlier. But I know I'm going to have to go to the store and get me some new makeup. So, I didn't know people were still having these issues. Let me roll the clip first, then we'll talk about it.
Education. Women think that orgasm comes from penetration, but the clitoris is how most women orgasm, and yet most women do not know where their clitoris is. And in fact, the word clitoris today in 2026 does not exist in the checklist for what an OBGYN has to learn in their training.
And as men, what are we getting wrong in heterosexual relationships when we're trying to arouse our partners?
Well, men are constantly asking about, they want their penises bigger, harder, straighter, girthier, lasting longer, but none of that has anything to do with how women experience pleasure and satisfaction in the bedroom. So that's why I'm so loud about these things, because no one is getting good sex ed, because the basic information is not being shared, and we fundamentally...
I didn't know people were still struggling with not knowing where their clitoris was. I didn't know people still in this day and age wasn't orgasming. Oh my God, I feel so bad for you guys. First of all, you should know where your own stuff is, okay? You gotta know you. And you gotta, if you don't meet that right person, now I understand why God says you should wait until you're married before you have sex, because you're going to always compare to your best. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to get to know you sometimes. I know where that button is. No, wait. Trying to keep it clean, but y'all know this is Silk Sessions After Hours Unfiltered. You got to know where your happy button is, girls. And let me tell you something. Let me get comfortable. If you are in a relationship, you got to know how to finesse that thing. So we was at a party, me and one of my friends, And I leaned over to her and I said, because I'm single and I'll be praying for the married people. I'll be praying for people who are in relationships because one day I'm going to be in a relationship again and I know how to get it done, right? I say, girl, go in there and get him something to drink. She looked at me and started laughing. I said, and just sit it next to him while he play dominoes. Then I need you to whisper in his ear, there you go, daddy. There you go, big daddy. She laughed so hard, and I'm watching her. Now, she did do the first part, but she couldn't do that second part. I said, you were supposed to do that second part, friend. She was like, I know I couldn't do it. But when she showed up with that drink, every man at that table, because they was playing dominoes, was like, oh man, you got it going on. I said, girl, I told you, it shifts the atmosphere. Sometimes you got to make him feel like a king, the king that he is, even when you mad at him. Sometimes, ladies, put it in the chat if you agree. And fellas, tell me how you feel on what I'm saying. I'm telling you, just every now and then, just do something out of the ordinary. It changes the whole gamut, I promise you. And if you need more tips, put in the chat, because I got the tips. And I know you're saying, you ain't even got no man. I once had one. Everyone I had still loves me. And everyone that I've had know that there was a big decision that they lost me. Okay. All right. They fumbled the play. Now, before we get to the next thing, I was just thinking today, do you know, maybe you don't, so I'm going to tell you. I'm almost at a year that A Moment in the Hourglass was released. It was released on my birthday, August the 14th. And even though it was released August the 14th, I was done with it like around this time. And I was just doing like edits and promotions and getting ready to promote it, to put it out there. And that's when I started writing The Night Shift at Hope Central. And it's been a year since I've wrote The Night Shift at Hope Central, since I started it. And I have 4. Ain't that crazy? Now look, don't search, just scan. I'm gonna put the QR codes up. Go on, get all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go get all 5 of them. I actually have more than 5 books out, but I'm just going to talk about these because these are my heart. This is my Pulitzer Prize, and this is my get to you. This is that Dr. Dirty Dick. You got to get it. All right, on to the next. Cheaters are getting very crafty, and let me tell you what I mean. So I was on TikTok today. You know I be trying to find the good stuff for y'all, and this lady says this is how people are cheating now. Take a look.
Partners will think to look in your messages, but they won't think to look in the Notes app. You can actually have a shared note on your Notes app and then give it a password as well. So a lot of people are using that to cheat.
Get out. Get out. Please say that again. In your Notes app.
If you've got an iPhone and the Notes app, there's a way to set up a shared note with someone else who has an iPhone and then give it a password so no one will be able to see what you're saying. So
and you have your conversations in there and not messages.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And you can also delete it, I would imagine.
Exactly. No trace.
Boy, don't that make sense? If you have an iPhone, you know. So I keep a lot of notes, like songs that I've written, recipes, cocktail recipes, my characters to my books. They're all in my notes. When I'm getting ready to do Silk Sessions After Hours Unfiltered, I write my notes so I'm prepared. But you can lock your notes and put a password on them. And there's a thing called shared notes. Now, it's not like text messaging. You ain't really looking through your significant other's notes in the notepad in the phone when you think they cheating. You looking at what? Emails and texts. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're feeling a little froggy and you're thinking something going on, check them notes. Check them notes. And you might not even be able to check them because the notes you can lock. Make you say, think about it. All right. We're going to do one more for the night. One more for the night. I got to have a relationship like this. Take a look.
I know.
Are you really trying to time out our fight right now?
I got tea of the century.
Okay, fine. No.
Kelsey and Tristan broke up 2 hours ago. When we went out to the bar the other night, you were there, the girls were all there. Me and the guys went downstairs to the downstairs bar to get a drink, and he bumped into the Savannah.
Stop. Savannah?
They went outside for 15 minutes, and we thought they were just talking. I mean, we thought it was weird, but we weren't going to rat on him. He wasn't just talking to her. They went to his car. Uh-huh.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
How did Kelsey find out?
Hey, girly text.
Savannah, hey, girlied her?
Hey, girly her, and now 5 years, done, broken up. Done.
He's such a dirtbag.
Yep. That's all, though. We can continue our fight. You were rude to me before, just so you know, and I'm actually still pissed off, so.
Are you serious?
What is wrong with this outfit?
Man, this is kind of love I'm talking about. So they having a full-blown argument, and he like, I want to pause. They had a full-blown share the tea, and that's what I'm talking about. That's like pillow talk, and that's real love. When you can have an argument, stop, make fun of somebody, laugh about it, then get right back on track. I don't like what you did. And even if you're arguing, don't let it go don't go to sleep with it. No, it ain't worth it. Don't go to sleep with it. Make up before you go to sleep. Have a little sex. I'm telling you, sex changes the game. If you mad, you might forget. When they say become one in a marriage, that's part of the oneness. My next husband, he in trouble. And it's got to hurry up because I'm getting a little stiff now. But it's like riding a bike, I heard. So, man, because I'm telling you, I know that ain't this. I got some on my heart. So, I'm in Gringo's. Y'all know that's my favorite restaurant since we're talking about relationships. And I was sitting by myself because I will take myself to lunch. And there was a couple in front of me at the next table. And it was probably their daughter or their caretaker, but I'm sure it was their daughter. And it was a couple, and they sat on the same side together. And they looked to be in their 80s. And he was barely making it, and so was she. But he made sure that he helped her out the booth. He held her hand. They was walking really slow. He held her hand as they walked toward the door. He used all the mustard of the energy he could to open the door for her. And I bet they have been together since they were young. Because, that was a time when people got together in high school or in college. And I just looked at them and I'm like, that's what I wanted. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I wanted. And I know it's not too late because one of my aunts, she got married for the third time at 50. My other aunt, she got married. She, 2 years ago, she was 60. 3 years ago, she was 60. This is her third anniversary. So it's never too late, but you wanted that person where you could grow old with them, where you look at them and you still see the young person, like when y'all were in like high school or whatever, or when you were in your early 20s. But that's not what God had for me, but I know something good is coming up the pipe because I be praying about it. So don't forget, order y'all books. The Night Shift at Hope Central, The Second Dose of Deception, The Second Dose of Deception, The Reckoning, and Cuckoo Cachoo, Crazy Camille. I promise you won't be disappointed. And if you need some healing, this is the book for you, A Moment in the Hourglass. Start with this one. I'll put all the QR codes up. Start with this, and I'll put the links in the description box, and then move on to the ratchet. I promise you won't miss it. You won't be disappointed. Well, that's it. That's all. I'm your girl, Mimi Michelle, your hairstylist, your author, and your podcaster. And you have been watching Silk Sessions After Hours Unfiltered. Until Sunday, I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.